Alrighty guys, I think it's about that time. Today we're going to be going over my top 10 best fall designer fragrances for 2025. You know, it's crazy. I've been doing these videos since 2017, 2018. Time has gone by so quick. But one thing is that these videos are not getting any easier to make. As time goes on and I get more fragrances, you know, the selection increases and it does make it a bit challenging. You might notice though that year over year some things do stay consistent, and that is because at the end of the day I am a creature of habit and I do have my favorites, and some are just really hard for me to let go of. So I'm going to drop links to everything we talk about today down below. This video is in numbered order, however these are all great. Just the fact that they made it in this video speaks volumes to just what they are. So we're gonna get things kicked off at number 10. It's Prada Luna Rosa Black. It's the tonka bean amber-based powdery scent that a lot of people know and has also existed in a couple of other kind of popular fragrance DNAs. What do I mean by that? Well, this smells similar to two discontinued fragrances, one of which being Bulgari Black, not Man in Black, just Bulgari Black, kind of a puck-shaped bottle. And the other one is Midnight in Paris by Van Cleef & Arpels. It's that really cool-looking bottle. Both of those at one point were affordable scents that, you know, you could get everywhere. But for the past several years, they have been discontinued, and it makes sense in a way because this DNA is a bit more out there in terms of just not being a usual smell for a cologne. And gotta be honest with you guys, I'm surprised that this is still in production because this does not seem like something that is overly popular outside of the community. If you want a powdery sweet fall scent, this is it. There's really no other way to describe it. If you don't like powdery tonka bean based scents, stay far away from Prada Luna Rosa Black, but there is something just warming and comforting about this one that is especially appealing for those a little bit more cooler fall days where sometimes it might feel a little bit closer to winter. You know, this kind of just breathes some warmth back into your life. At number 9, we have Hugo Boss Bottled Elixir. I know it kind of seems low for this scent. And again, you know, it's so hard to number these, and it would change, you know, weekly depending on what kind of mood I'm in and what I'm grabbing for. But number 9, just the fact that it's in here, again, speaks volumes to the scent. It's got frankincense, patchouli, cedarwood. You're probably expecting Boss Bottled Absolute. Well, that's probably going to be in my winter list. So a little foreshadowing there. I love Boss Bottled Absolute. I think it's one of the best fragrances from Hugo Boss just in general. But what I do like about the Elixir version is that it's just a little bit lighter. Not a ton, but a little bit. And I think that this is a little bit more appealing to me for fall use, and that added heaviness, richness, and sweetness that is more so introduced in Absolute is a little bit more conducive to winter wear when it's just consistently very cold and typically below freezing outside where we are. Both versions perform great. So obviously this one here, the Elixir version, it has great performance. It holds up throughout the entire day. It has amazing quality. It's a fantastic compliment getter as well because it's something a little bit unique. The quality is great. Everything about this one is amazing. Oh, and the price is under $100. At number 8, we have Valentino Uomo. And it stops right there. I mean, you know, at this point, so many flankers and the names keep getting longer and longer, but this is just Valentino Uomo. This one has hazelnut coffee, chocolate leather, one of the most appetizing note breakdowns that there is. I mean, if that note breakdown doesn't sell you on this one, I don't know what else would, because when I saw that for the first time, it was an immediate add to cart and purchase. And you know, you would think I would have started here, but no, I kind of worked backwards. I got Uomo Intense first and then started getting some of the flankers thereafter. And finally, I was like, wait a minute, I don't have the original where it all started. I looked it up, saw those notes, and was like, man, I think I've been missing out. I smelled it for the first time, and I knew for a fact that I was missing out. You're noticing that there's not really any iris, and that is true. It doesn't have that iris smell like Uomo Intense does, but it does have more of a leathery, kind of chocolatey, gourmand aspect, still just a little bit more fresh than Uomo Intense, even though it might not look like it. It is a tad bit fresher, it's perfect for fall. This would be the time I would wear it. You could wear it in wintertime, you could probably pull it off in the beginning stages of spring as well, but there's something about this one that just smells like fall to me. Warm, cozy, inviting, and again, kind of gourmand leaning as well. From that coffee, hazelnut, chocolate combination. This stuff is delicious and it's affordable as well. Given that it's the first flanker, or not the first flanker, sorry, the first Valentino Uomo, like this is where the line started. It's been out for the longest. It's by far the most affordable, usually at around $50 to $60 for 100 ml. At number 7, we have Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal Absolute. This is by far my favorite Scandal, and it's not even close. Now, remind me, is there another one after this? I feel like there is. So obviously I don't have that one, if there is. But I feel like they might have put out another one. I don't know. It's so hard to keep up with all the Absolutes and Elixirs and stuff. But I know that I have the original and I have the Le Parfum, kind of the black gradient bottle, and then this one now. That's the 3 that I have. So of those 3, this is my favorite one. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of the first 2. There's nothing wrong with them. As far as me gravitating towards them and wearing them, that basically never happens. This one has 3 notes. We have Mirabelle, Chestnut, and Sandalwood. Now, I was looking into that, and it's apparently a fictional note from at least what I see on Fragrantica, and I guess it kind of is reminiscent of a plum, kind of a sweet, fruity plum. And when you smell this one, I can kind of see maybe where they're going with that. It does have quite the prominent fruity sweetness off the opening, drying down into more of a tonka bean, sandalwood, creamy, dry down. And so it basically maintains its sweetness from start to finish. That chestnut in here kind of gives it some of that modern smell, that Stronger With You, replica by the fireplace type of gourmand smell, which is becoming somewhat common, or at least it was at one point. This is fantastic for the season of fall. It's more on the youthful side of things. So for you younger guys out there who just want a beast mode compliment monster scent that you could wear any situation every day in the season of fall and even into winter as well, Scandal Absolute is one to look into. At number 6, we got a cheapie. It's Bentley from In Absolute, usually $30 or less. Testers will sometimes be a bit less. Full presentation is right around that $30 to, I don't know, maybe $35, depending on where you're shopping. This one has cedarwood, papyrus, olibanum, and pink pepper. It's woody, it's smoky, it's dry, and it's kind of earthy. There's a bit of oud in here as well, more so listed off. Not overly prominent in terms of actually smelling it, but it is there, and maybe you get just the slightest amount of it. And I've also said this for years, and it's not listed off, but I do get a prominent rum accord off the opening. And at first I was thinking maybe it's just perfumer's alcohol, like an alcohol smell. But it's not. It's a sweet alcohol smell, like a boozy, rich rum accord off the opening, and then you're getting into all the spices and the woods and the pepper and stuff. So they don't list it off like they do in Bentley from In Intense, but I definitely pick up on it here, and I love it. Those who know, and that is that this smells a lot like Gucci Pour Homme 1, the original, basically following a very similar footprint that this did. Well, it came first, so this is following that footprint, but basically focused on a cedarwood, peppery, spicy smell. You would see people compare Gucci Pour Homme 1 to smelling like pencil shavings because of how dry and woody it was from that cedarwood and pink pepper. And it's not as cut and dry as that, but I definitely see where people are coming from when they say that it kind of has a pencil shaving smell. This is truly something different. It's unique. It stands out up against basically everything else in this list, pretty much, to be fair, and just everything else in general. They don't make fragrances like this anymore. This is not the style these days, but it still works great, and again, it is so affordable. Breaking into the top 5, we have Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. This is one that I don't know, this is one that I think has been in these fall videos since I first started making them. There might have been a couple years where I kicked it out and put in something else, but I'm not shy in hiding the fact that I love Ultra Male. It just smells like fall. It smells like all of the things that you think about and that are associated with the season, just Halloween and trick-or-treating and all of the fall fun festivities, which I don't really do much anymore. Well, definitely not trick-or-treating, but you know, some of the other stuff, we don't really do all that anymore, but it just smells like that. It reminds you of that time. This one has pear, it has cinnamon, it has, of course, vanilla, tonka bean, lavender and stuff, kind of the core makeup of the Le Mans lineup, which those notes have kind of been passed through the line for, you know, the entirety of the line, but the pear really makes this one stand out. Very sweet, mixing with that cinnamon. This is one of the sweetest fragrances marketed for men that you could probably purchase. There's probably some more out there that are even sweeter than this somehow, but as far as widely known designer fragrances, when you look at the sweetness scale, this is probably about at the top of the list. So please know what you're getting into here. And most do. This has been around for a long time now. Again, I've been talking about this since I first started in 2017. So nothing new at all. 10 years old now or more. But, you know, it still is an amazing scent that I personally love and enjoy for fall in particular. When we get into wintertime, I'm not wearing it. I'm going Le Mans Le Parfum, Elixir, or anything else. There's something about this that I just like it for this time of year in particular. At number 4, we have Dolce & Gabbana, the One Gentleman. Like they say, all good things come to an end, and that's what happened here. You probably, some of you might not have even known that this existed, right? Because when we take a look at the Dolce & Gabbana, the One lineup, it's the EDP at the top, probably the Eau de Toilette behind it now in terms of popularity is what I'm talking about here. And then, you know, there were the exclusive editions, Royal Night, Luminous Night, Mysterious Night, so on and so forth, and maybe a few, you know, limited edition, you know, collector's edition releases and so on. The One Sport is another one, but this is one that never really got popular. And I don't know why, because it is wonderful. This one has vanilla, pepper, lavender, cardamom, and patchouli. Really nice, sweet, but spicy and peppery take on the Dolce & Gabbana The One DNA. And it really deviates quite a bit from the One. There is zero redundancy here with this compared to the core lineup, the EDT and the EDP, and really any of them, to be fair. It really stands out a lot. And I mentioned it already, but they discontinued this one quite a while ago. I mention it or feature it because you can get it right now. I'll leave a link down below. It's $100. You know, that's $30 more than the One EDP, which is in production and has been in production for years, right? So yeah, it's more expensive, but it's also kind of like comparing apples to oranges, both in terms of production and also the scent itself, right? And the fact that this performs better and it's a little bit more unique because not everybody has smelled it. So I really like the One Gentleman. I love the color as well. That looks super cool. Oh, and I missed one, the One Gray. You can actually get that one right now too, but that was another flanker that did get more popular than this. The One Gentleman and the One Sport were two that were just wildly overlooked, but this one definitely did not deserve to be. This is perfect for fall right now too. It has the pepper and the spices that work well for just kind of right on the line in terms of starting to warm up outside but still being kind of chilly with the breeze and stuff. It works great. That vanilla is that added sweetness that also helps it to hold up when it's cold in the mornings and evenings. This is a no-brainer. All right, we're into the top 3 now. It's always tough when you get up to this point, but we're going to start off with Paco Rabanne Pure XS. I just featured this like yesterday or the day before, so you know, timing on that's a little bit off, but this is one of my favorites for fall. I love how this smells. Man, it smells so good. It's the perfect mixture of everything. A little bit sweet, a little bit fresh, bubbly. I already discussed all that here recently. It has vanilla, liquor, myrrh, sugar, a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Gourmand leaning with a bit of a freshness, a little bit of a booziness, but yet it is still very wearable. Gonna be younger leaning, but anybody could wear this so long as you like how it smells. Knock yourself out. $60 for this, 100 ml. That's not bad at all. Performance is not the best. It's not horrible, but a lot of these others do perform a little bit better. However, it's still at number 3 because for me, the smell makes it more than worth it. At number 2, we have Herrera Bad Boy. This is the extreme version. This one has tonka, patchouli, cacao, incense, and a bit of a vetiver accord as well. These bottles, you know how they are. Not everybody likes them. I don't really like them either. They just kind of, I don't know, they're tippy and they don't really stack well with other things, but that's okay. This is worlds better than the original Bad Boy. I like it right about the same or maybe a little bit more than Bad Boy Le Parfum. And then the new Elixir version is also really good. That one could have been in here, but I prefer the dusty, powdery, chocolatey nature of this one for fall, and I would maybe gravitate towards the Elixir version more so for wintertime. Now this one does have great performance. It is really, really strong, and it works well for this time of year. It smells like fall to me. And we're gonna finish this off with my #1 spot, which I'm sure that some of you caught on. We haven't seen anything like this in the video yet, so it has to be #1. It's Mustache Eau de Parfum, and basically what it is it's a YSL Tuxedo alternative. So take your favorite pick. It could be this, it could be Afnan Tarathi Brown, it could be Alhambra the Tux, Fragrance World Suits, or any of the others. Whichever one is your favorite, whichever one that you have, put it into the #1 spot, you know, for me. Like that's what you could slot in. It doesn't have to be this because there are so many to choose from. And if you already have a YSL Tuxedo clone, you don't really need to go out and get this unless you really want to. That's kind of the point. Just something that smells like YSL Tuxedo, that is making it at my #1 spot. It's just the patchouli, the spices, the vanilla, the benzoin, everything about this DNA is so amazing, and it smells like autumn. You can wear it into wintertime and even spring as well. No problems there, but to me, it smells like this time of year, this particular season, and I don't want to dilute that by wearing it other times of the year. So that's when I wear this stuff, and I love it. And this one in particular, Mustache Eau de Parfum by Rokas, usually around, I don't know, $40, maybe a bit less. Just very affordable, great performer as well. Nice compliment getter, versatile for this time of year, and it's such an easy one to pick up and grab that it just makes sense. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. My top 10 designer fall fragrances for 2025. I'll link everything down below, make shopping super easy. It's warming back up here next week, like mid-80s and stuff. So, you know, we kind of had a false fall, but I wanted to get this out now anyway, just so you can do some shopping in advance because it will cool down again within a couple weeks after that probably. I got coupon codes as well, Vinba Fragrance, you know, Joma Shop, Perfume Box, and stuff in the description as well. If you're shopping at any of those websites, you can use those codes and save some money. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.